Okay guys, it's welcome back to the White Toad Chronicles. Last time you saw what was going on, the house was upside down. My daughter had actually been and emptied a room and left it all over the place, which made things even worse. Then of course I walked around with the camera explaining to people just what it was like and showing what it was like. I had planned to go on. It was actually my birthday the following day. That was January the 28th when that was shot. It was my birthday on the 29th, and unfortunately I was quite ill for about 3 days. Blood pressure going really high and then dropping really low. Probably should have gone to hospital or something, but as a single parent, you know what it's like. We can't do those things. So just spent as much time resting in bed. Recovered by Saturday, which was handy because I had a gig on. Worked Saturday, Sunday, and then anyway, so we are now at, let me think, February the 7th. Okay, on the 28th, I spent a good few hours tidying around and shifting quite a lot of stuff. Probably overdid it. Maybe that's what caused some of the trouble. The house is considerably better than it was, which is a good thing. But anyway, back to the story. Okay, so this is going to be first of all an explanation of some of the things that I've actually gone through historically. I've started you off with the White Toad. In fact, I haven't actually told you about that, have I? What am I talking about? Okay, so the White Toad Chronicles. That rewinds back to about 1968, something like that. Something around that time. I was aged approximately 5-6 year old, and where I lived was at the end of a terrace, and there were on one side a lot of woods, which was really great to play in, and on the other side was a lot of factories. It was really good to break into and mess about. Bear in mind we're just kids, so that's what you'd sort of. We didn't have playstations or anything like that. You had to find your own entertainment, and that was the sort of entertainment we looked for. But at the terrace itself ran on for probably about close to a mile down to an old canteen, which we eventually completely destroyed. I mean, this was a proper, imagine about 4 houses all put together, and this was used as a canteen to support the workers. It had been abandoned. There was nothing wrong with it. There was glass in the windows and the roof and everything, and by the time we'd finished with it, it was literally about a 4-foot pile of rubble. I mean, we literally brought the whole thing down over a period of time, but I digress. On the way down to that canteen was a raised area, and at the top of it was the original stones of a very large chimney. I'm talking one of these like 400-500 foot chimneys, whatever they are, and they were really big stone. I presume granite or something. May be wrong about that, but I always assumed it was. Well, now I assume it's granite. In a semicircle, and there was grass growing in the centre of it, and like I said, I was probably about 5-6 years old, and there was what was left, or some of the rubble that was left, presumably from the chimney, amongst the grass, and there was a particular stone sticking out from the grass. The grass had obviously grown over it, and it was it looked like it was quite deep in the ground, and I just pointed it to this stone out of the blue. I said to my friend, "There's a white toad under that stone." And he looked at me as if to say, like, what are you talking about? And we probably had a little bit of an argument as to whether there was indeed a white toad. Let's face it, I don't think white toads even exist, but we decided to dig it up. Now bear in mind, we were kids, we didn't have tools. We had to use sticks and things, and it took quite a bit of excavating to get this thing to the point where we could actually lift it. And I have no idea how long it took to get it out of the ground. It was quite an effort. We did get it out of the ground, and as I pulled the stone up out of the ground, lo and behold, underneath this stone was a white toad. Probably about maybe 2 inches across, about so big across, reasonable size. Here in the UK, toads don't generally go much bigger than that, so I would say it was probably fully grown. Not exactly sure how it got there, and I've considered for years how on earth this thing got to be white. The only conclusion I've come to was it was possibly under some sort of limestone, which I think is alkaline, and that every time it rained, the limestone or some of the lime from the limestone would drip on the toad and presumably bleach the skin, because it was actually white, not a bright white, but like a very dull white, but necessarily was white, not the stuff you couldn't rub it off. The skin was actually bleached white. And that's where this idea from the White Toad Chronicles comes from, because for me, I think that was my first exposure to the fact that things could be supernatural, that there was more to life than we realised. And that was, like I said, a 6-year-old boy realising that. And it changed at a very deep, fundamental level how I saw things from that point. And when I tell you the testimony that I've got, it'll blow your head off, because I still can't believe all the stuff that's happened, and it's going to take a while to tell it. So I'm going to break it down into bits, because otherwise, I know what I'm like. If anything's more than like 5-10 minutes long, I struggle watching it. Kind of, I wouldn't say lose interest, but I just look at it, when it shows the length of the video, and I think, yeah, right, okay, so I'm going to keep it down to segments, small segments, and it perhaps keeps things fresh, enables me to shoot it into smaller segments too, and we'll go from there. So that's an introduction to the White Toad Chronicles. That's what this channel is going to be about, at least in the initial stages. And like I said, I can only apologise for it being days later than I had originally planned to get back and talk to people. Take care, y'all.